I would think it's because they are still young. Like, look, I wouldn't say everyone that turns to religion goes through hardship, but it ends up being like an anchor.
Yeah.
Like something you can kind of fall back on when things get tough.
Because I feel like now it's more similar to when we were talking about celebrity worship and whatever. But now someone will just go to church because umfundisi sibanibani. Nowadays it's more following someone rather than following what the heart needs.
Yeah.
Or the soul,
The
spirit. Either or. I still don't know the difference between the soul and the spirit.
The amount of content that you are actually feeding into, you see that people are living this kind of lifestyle. So you also want to be that group so that you can fit in, because it's one of the primal needs that we have.
Difference between the spirit and the soul.
One is alcoholic.
Off top, it's alcoholic.
You've just stepped into An Empty Street, a podcast where we casually engage in difficult conversations about relationships, wealth, and health. We are just three curious gentlemen who ask questions almost about everything, and our aim is to find answers from others and within ourselves. We sit down every other week to explore unaltered conversations. So let's walk the talk together, and welcome to the Empty Street podcast.
This is like what, your third?
Third.
Yeah, I think it's your third now.
I think it's my third.
Yeah, and like,
I don't count, guys.
and they say lightning only strikes once, so we can't keep introducing lightning.
But those who are just tuning in, this is Sean Mahlangu.
Just go back to the other interviews.
Then
we'll go at some point.
And just look at
the introduction. It's too long.
But thanks for pulling through, my dog. Thanks for
I'm
pulling
happy,
through.
man.
It's nice to have you again
Yeah,
to unpack another thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah, man.
Might get us cancelled or not?
Nah, never.
Doubt.
Cancellation is dead now,
doubt.
Joe.
It does.
When last did you
Dead,
see
man.
someone get cancelled, guys?
It's probably not happening in front of us.
But who?
Yeah, I know, it's been a
Yeah,
minute, dog.
it's
The last
been- it was
person
a
that
trend.
tried, or that they tried to cancel was, I think, Kanye.
Yeah, and then
I
it
think
was-
after that, and it didn't really work. I mean, it kind of did work.
Do we
'cause
count the Miss SA as cancellation?
I didn't follow that whole story.
Nah, that one
but
was not a cancel.
Yeah, because she backed up.
Yeah.
So they didn't fire her.
Yeah.
It's not like she.
But because of the backlash, she kind of backed down. She wouldn't have had all of that.
Yeah.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah, all of that stuff happened. Then she wouldn't have. So
I still don't consider it.
Yeah.
she cancelled herself.
Yeah, because
nothing-
cancellation
nothing
requires
controversial.
you.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like
When they
Kind
take
of-
away your bag, is that being cancelled?
Your
Yeah.
access to things.
everything.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, when you go left, you're a monster. Anywhere you go, you're like
Yeah.
the bad guy and stuff.
Yeah, crazy thing, we were talking about cancel culture. Was it the last time you were here? No, it was not the last time.
Wasn't the last time? It was the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
But I just want us to go to what brings us here today, which is a discussion we've had, something that I've been observing. I don't know about you guys, but just how there's a decline in the newer generations pursuing religion or declaring themselves as religious,
Okay.
or just like religiously going to church,
Yeah.
to praise the Lord. Like I want us to unpack like why Gen Z is not so religiously engaged. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Feel you,
And
man.
one of the things that maybe we can start with is the contrast between back then and now, and how things have changed. The influences from the household, the media, celebrities. Yeah, just all the factors that influence this decline of Gen Z being religious.
Yeah. Well, on my end, I'd say, how do I even start with the whole contrast around it? Because obviously, if we were to kind of speak about time, about back then, it was, I'd say it was more spiritual. guided, but at the same time, it was some form of control in a way. But yeah, let's not go there. But
Tap into whatever bag, bro.
but I'm saying like nowadays it's no longer the same in a way, because I feel like now it's more similar to when we were talking about a celebrity worship and whatever. But now someone will just go to church because umfundisi sibanibani.
There's celebrities within
exactly
that realm
again,
as
we're like
well,
ubani ubani kono polisa kono vusumuntu
Sure.
file and all that.
yeah.
All these Mpushiri, Bomporo, whatever their names are, was Slicer, whatever they are. But you know what I'm trying to say with like now it's no longer more of like a spiritual guide for yourself to find yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to build a relation with my
Spiritual
deity.
self, yeah.
Is exactly, and spiritual self actually. Thank you, perfect. But yeah, I'd say like my contrast around it would kind of be that. You see, nowadays it's more following someone rather than following what the heart needs.
Yeah.
Or the soul,
The
excuse me,
spirit,
spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
Either or. I still don't know the
no.
difference between the soul and the spirit. My bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good question, dog. If I had to think about that, actually, like difference between the spirit and the soul.
One is alcoholic.
Off top, it's alcoholic.
Yeah, that one can get you back.
Yeah, now we debunked it. Eh? One is alcohol. I'll just come back to the conversation. What I think the difference is between back then and now is that, which is something we'll outline later as well, the influences that kind of have taken over the current state of society, you know? Things like social media, for instance. And how that has played a big role in influencing things in general.
Yeah,
a lot.
You know? That's the new place to even just market. You don't just look at marketing through TV anymore or billboards, but through social media as well. You know, that is like the holy grail of marketing these days. So for me, I feel like back then there wasn't as much people got influenced by, because all they had was TV, newspapers, and their Bibles, or not just Bibles, but whatever book they use to gather or to like kind of feed their faith. I'd say, you know, because there's the Quran for other religions and so on and so forth. So I feel like back then there wasn't as much distracting them,
Yeah.
you know. And when you look at, I would say for our generation, for instance, we kind of know the
Both
best
sides,
of both worlds, because we grew up in an age where we didn't know the internet, and then came the year 2000 where now there's the internet, and then fast forward a few years later there's social media. So we got to see both worlds. But in this day and age, a kid in their tender age is already having a smartphone. So already from birth you're on TikTok, you know, and based off of what you're feeding on,
Yeah.
or what you're feeding off of, that already kind of makes an algorithm catered for you. So if you're looking at dance challenges, that's all you're going to be seeing day in, day out. No one's speaking about religion, because that's not what you're clicking on, right?
That's true.
Because it's based on your clicks.
You only like see it on
Yeah,
Sundays type of
exactly.
vibes. That's the only
Exactly.
time I see it.
So that becomes your influence, you know.
It's true.
And then you grow up. Yes, there's people around you that might like be religious, you know,
Yeah.
that follow a certain faith, and that is normally how things are. Is that you end up falling back with your faith through maybe SK. SK is like, nah, that's why I say, you know, and then or an event kind of inspires you. Something like tragic or hardship, whatever, inspires you to actually fall back and like seek that side of you, your faith or your God or whatever, you know. And then it becomes that thing where it's now like that's what you hang on to, your faith. You know, but I feel like for the Gen Z specifically, there's so much going on for them, so many distractions going on for them that they don't even get that time to just tap into. And this is not obviously like on a global scale. You know, obviously we are generalizing, I would say. For the most part. This is what we see. It's what we come across. So that's why we say Gen Zs. You know, obviously we're not saying it's every single Gen Z. But I feel like because of these influences, that's why it's now becoming a trend where they focus either on other stuff like social media apps and
making
whatever.
content.
Making content, you know. It's really crazy because you walk in malls, bro, people have their phones up. There's no way you don't go away. A phone is not like lit or anything like that.
So you know, it's more like people are more very focused on content.
I feel like that's their religion. That's their religion.
Podcasts
and also
and they're looking us up, you know.
They're watching the podcast.
So looking at us, talking about them.
It's an odd thing where you just think like there's even people willing to just like their whole content is just to watch other content. That's your reaction.
Crazy.
Just watching. That's your job.
You ask people to watch your content of you watching another content. So it's quite crazy. So like what you're saying, like what's being popularized either with the social media, what's being popularized with the TV, and generally what's trending. Church barely trends, I guess. And all of the other things that trend, maybe they overpower church from trending or religion from trending. And most of the things that would trend are actually vilified by church or by religion.
That's true.
For instance, groove, which is a very popular culture in this day and age. Bible is against that.
But I feel like now
there's content,
worse,
right?
Now.
So
now it's more accessible.
It's more accessible.
Access.
And that whole term groove, I feel like it just like it hit the ground and skyrocketed. You know, it made it seem even like bigger than it already was.
You know, it became a culture.
Which it was already.
Because you see, people are happy at groove though.
There's no reason not to.
So
and then you see, Wuti, the Bible, if you're gonna follow religion, the religion won't want you to be in
prescribe
that
to that path.
Right? So you're gonna go to the thing that makes you feel good now instead of later, which is whatever the Bible is promising, or it can be another religion is promising that you'll get at the end of your life. It's like, okay, I live here, so let me enjoy. You look at things like hook up. The Bible doesn't promote that at all.
Like, don't even come. But pull out. Don't pull out. It's like, don't pull out. That's their number one. Don't pull out, chief.
So it's things that they actually enjoy doing. And them following the religious route means that they have to sacrifice those things. And also, but basically it's just how the media is popularizing a certain lifestyle, and people are like, I'm enjoying this lifestyle. Group conformity, actually. We see that the amount of content that you are actually feeding into, you see that people are living this kind of lifestyle. So you also want to be that group so that you can fit in, because it's one of the primal needs that we have. And when it comes to religion, you're like, I don't really get the promise. I mean, people have been waiting for Jesus to come back, and he hasn't.
2000
so it's like, I'm not quite sure if I should put down my Heineken for Jesus, right? Or I should not break my virginity because I'm still waiting for marriage. And I see ukuthi wonke umuntu unyiswa umjolo, there's divorce rates more than 50%, and you ask yourself, will I ever get married though? But I'm happy with this hookup life that I'm gonna. So it's those kind of things that are influencing.
So basically, it's almost like we're moving into nihilism in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
In a way.
I think that's probably another reason. The same Gen Zs we say aren't following religion as religiously, so
Yeah.
to say, I would think is because they are still young. Like, look, I wouldn't say everyone that turns to religion goes through hardship, but it ends up being like an anchor,
Yeah.
like something you can kind of fall back on when things get tough.
Yeah.
You know, the faith part, as I was saying earlier, like when something happens, like like religion is testing my faith.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Because like faith is like the essential part of any religion.
Exactly.
Like, no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
if you
So-
go through hardship
Yeah.
and then you see your faith actually kind of giving life to what you believe.
exactly.
you
So as
ultimately
as
say,
as
this
a
is
as a
the way.
Gen Z, which at this current moment, I feel like they haven't really went through as
Hardship.
much life testing situations.
I don't call him
as-
Jolo now. You have a trap.
So that would turn
Hardship. That's hardship. Some people kill themselves.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the one ship that is
Yeah,
hard.
that's the one ship they get.
That's
You
the
know.
hard ship.
So I feel like because like not a lot is tested,
Yeah.
or they don't really get tested as much. They don't really see the urgency in that moment to kind of fall back on religion, you know, to kind of set them back on that route
That path.
of back on that path of faith and like whatever religion you're on,
Yeah.
you know. But for an older demographic, those are people that have went through stuff, time
Yeah.
like
They ran
hardship.
They were chased by dogs.
You know,
They had to be
hey dog,
chased
like
by
you
horse
went through
fights.
every single page of a book.
Yeah.
So it ends up like having that impact on you, where you go seeking your faith to kind of heal all those wounds in a way. Because obviously, I would say in Christianity, they say it's the word of God, right?
Yeah.
Lelo lim lim nandi dog.
Yeah.
And like,
sounds nice.
yeah, it soothes you.
It's the word of
So
God.
it's the word of God, bro. It promises you everything,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And for me, I wouldn't. It's not a bad thing, bro.
Yeah.
If you feel like that serves you good, then by all means, you know. I think it's also contradictory, also because those same people would be the ones to point fingers or to judge and all of that stuff,
them.
and then it paints a bad light on them.
Yeah.
So I might be Gen Z and then look at Christianity and be like, nah,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
me.
make sense.
That's
You know?
me. When
So,
you see them, just
hey,
yeah.
it's like, dog, it doesn't make sense. Because when you leave there tomorrow, from Monday to Saturday, you just like me.
Right.
It's just that one day where you kind of like want to wipe away everything you've done from Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And this is obviously doesn't go across the board, you know, but there are people who are like that,
Yeah.
you know, or people who just see it as a trend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also people who are kind of falling back into religion, which is maybe a good thing, you know.
Yeah, the older
Hey,
they get, some
yeah,
do
the
kind
older
of
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
sure,
saying. The
sure.
older you get,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
more
the whole
experiences kind of
with hardship, you know, you've been in the ring, though. It's not your
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
rodeo. So I feel like those kind of things also kind of play a part, you know.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed with our generation is that we asked a lot of questions like to adults or the people who were teaching us about
Yeah.
religion and they're saying we should get into it. And it was sort of taboo for us to ask those questions
yeah.
about God, about religion as a whole, about the church.
You don't question God.
Yeah.
Actions.
So we sort of lived with it. We were like, it's fine, okay. I'll just take that path without asking questions.
Yeah.
Right? But with these kids now, they are asking even more questions. And we are their parents.
Yeah.
Not old enough like that, but
They
how
look
are we
to
gonna-
us for guidance.
So how are we gonna answer those questions
When
to
we
them?
don't have the
Are we
answers?
still gonna say you don't question God? And they'll be like, why?
And he gave you that brain to even question in the first place.
Yeah, so that's another thing I
Yeah.
think affects the decline is the education for them. For us, maybe we were okay with it because the whole family was going to church and
church, yeah.
we were we felt bad not going to church on the
I
Sunday.
had to go.
So for them, yeah.
You were forced.
Yeah.
Well, I was forced. But
I had to go.
So for them, maybe it's like they don't understand or they haven't received like good teaching when it comes to the importance of going to church or being religious. So I think that also would affect it. What do you guys think?
Nah, I totally agree because lost my train of thought there. Like it was very quick
Yeah, because even their way of grasping information is different from us.
from us.
Yeah,
Yeah, attention
for
span.
for them it's like, what's better, dog? A 2-hour sermon or a 2-hour scrolling of TikTok? What's gonna make me feel good?
Yeah, they'd
And
rather
you get
feed
to
their
see.
dopamine.
So maybe the way of presenting a religion or presenting God to the kids also has to sort of
Change. Yeah.
Now
True.
you'll give a kid like, "Ufundi iBhayibhile yakho mntanami," and when I look at these small words, I'm like, yo, my ADHD
it's
dog.
not it.
No, I
'Cause
want
I
the
even saw like I don't know if it was true or not, but they were saying they're making a more modernized Bible, like they're trying to modernize it so that it can fit Gen Z.
Modernize it?
So they kind of even use these particular catchphrases, like saying it's late or type of situation.
You
When
see
Joseph
now.
found that it was a hand
That's why, like,
and
that's
Maria
when
was like, yo, it's God's child. And Joseph was like, that's on prayer, child.
Hey, problem.
bad.
oh God, are you
Bad.
serious? For real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey,
But that's where the
bad.
conservativeness kicks in, like
Yeah.
when like your conservative mind starts to go, hey man, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we forget that even the Bible that we read
Has been changed.
Yeah,
changed.
Yeah, has
So
been
each
changed.
generation needs an
Yeah.
alteration of, but what needs
But
to
yo,
stand?
reading a Bible like that would be wild. Bro. Nah, I won't lie, bro.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
It's
Saying
lit,
it's
yeah.
lit.
It's an entire series.
Bro, saying it's
It's an entire
lit.
series.
Yo, I thought that would be wild.
Jesus was walking on
The
water.
water was like,
Yeah.
are you sure you want
So
some,
it's
some
good
water?
walking. Yo.
Jesus was like, I
Say less.
I'm going to turn
Like,
this shit
nah,
into
say
wine,
less.
bro.
If you say less of me.
Sign me out.
Yeah. But maybe that would work, we don't know.
Yeah, we
Maybe
never
that would
know.
work.
Could work,
know.
because like, it worked for us.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
for me, but for some people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what you were saying about maybe trying to change how it looks, the presentation of it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's already started when you look at social media.
Yeah.
And there's these spaces, you know, that have been created where these are obviously people who follow religion, right?
Yeah.
Or on that path where I forgot what her name is. She was interviewing Casper at some point. Something wellness. Mpumi Letwaba. Okay, yeah. Mpumulelo Letwaba. I hope I'm getting her name right.
Yeah, it's hard in thought. Is the lighting still okay? Okay.
Rory Sang, who is a TV presenter.
Oh,
but now
yeah.
channel.
I remember.
She's also one Vele who's following that faith, you know.
Yeah.
There's other people. I mean, I don't follow that circle much, but I'm just saying, like, those people are kind of tapping into that world.
Yeah.
The Gen Zs, people who are spending a lot of time online, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
people who are spending a lot of their time online and still come across
The information.
that kind of information.
No, I
you
get
know?
you.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a poster I once saw that looked like a poster groove.
Yeah.
The graphic designer did some justice there. It looked like a poster groove, but when you read through, you're like, oh, this is church.
Maybe like,
Fresh.
so things like that, because when you think about how it was, I won't say traditionally, but pre-social media,
Yeah.
it was just church, maybe conferences, but now it's like these things happen like in huge numbers.
Yeah.
Like I think, for instance, Bumile Dwaba has an initiative, or well, her YouTube channel is something wellness, you know, but she also has seminars. And when I saw the last one she had, it was crazy, bro, because she had like, her panel had Connie Ferguson, like
Jesus
a lot of like
Christ, big names.
big names, yeah, prominent people, you know. And the fact that she's gaining that kind of traction shows that people are actually like there's actually a space for them online, you know, where I mean I would say a lot of the people that went to that event were women, but there were men as well there. But what I'm trying to say is these spaces are kind of being created already, and there's people who are actually like attending these events, going there for that kind of information. So it's like the information is being digested differently now.
Revolutionary.
And it's not through church. I feel like that whole concept is what should change, because Gen Z's I don't think it links.
And very like it's a norm now where like a lot of people don't even go to church. Some will say I'm still Christian.
Like they'll still stand by their faith and all.
I don't go to church.
But
I mean now Sundays are not for church. Sundays are for lovers. So you get to see, you would see. Things have shifted a bit, and even if you are someone who looks through people's statuses, Friday you see Friday night, Saturday is like something else, groove,
or
and then Sunday is like
chill.
Sunday is chilled.
Indoors.
Yeah, we get that you're preparing for Monday for the week ahead, but it's like now even Nasendlini, imagine Kali Gospel posting.
But that could also probably be a part of the factors actually. Like Leo, like even Sunday has now been kind of like revolutionized. It's like more than just
what Sundays look like now.
Yeah, so now Sundays have now been shifted to a new perspective where like it's for lovers, it's for this, it's for that, and all the type of things. Sunday this, whatever type of situation, and then now, like it's no longer Sunday. Is go to your house of praying or worship. So I think that could probably be amongst the factors. Who knows? Why like a lot of people, and so people are now having to focus on other like those new things that are being introduced rather than
the old ways.
Probably.
I think the point you made was very like the presentation of it should. I think that was a good point that you made.
Do people need religion?
I mean, what I was saying earlier, but you want to interject?
No, you can talk. I think he's gonna have the last word.
Like, I feel like based on what I said earlier, right? The fact that this is now a scenario where you've gone through hardship, and like dog, you down bad. Yeah, imagine reading that out of the Bible.
Let's try this God thing.
Yeah, like you're down bad. Hey, I'm down. Like. I know you down bad, my child. But seek me. You know, look for me. You know, peep me. I'm the G. Peep me. Hey, I'm down. You know, I'm a rider.
Touch the cool.
Yeah, the toilets.
Come scroll on another level.
So I feel like going through hardship can kind of inspire you, as I was saying earlier, to seek your faith, and then rely on religion to kind of get you through life. You know, to a point where it's like, as I was saying, an anchor. Like to keep you grounded type of thing. You know, if you trying to move away from certain habits, for instance, look at some recovering addicts. To move away from that life, they have to seek something different. And what they sometimes go through is maybe they start working out. You know, that becomes their religion. Or they chase a faith. You know, now you look towards religion, you look towards religion to kind of keep you grounded. You know, and that's your drug. You know, so I feel like
it's needed.
Your answer, my answer is yes. It's needed.
Because I'd say along like what you said, it's somewhat similar to what I was pretty gonna say. Because vele, I'd say in a way, I think it goes like as I don't want to say perfect. But if I'm to say like, do we need it? Like need it. Need is a strong word.
Yeah, it's a strong word.
But I say like, in modern society, we definitely somehow need it. We need something too strong. I don't know, but we need it.
Yeah, something needs to take over, bro.
Yeah, something needs to take over because I feel like we're too, like we're
just floating. We're messy, bitch.
Because it had its own structure where like you knew this. It pretty much taught you repercussions.
It brought order.
Yeah, like perfect. Because like now you know, okay, when this happens, this can happen.
Structure.
So now it's almost like this can happen. It's almost like so what?
Yeah.
Like, so what? Like, okay, it's not that much of a big deal. Then you just go to the right side or left side, however. But I'm trying to say, like, to me, it's, I'd say more, today maybe we do.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we do. Today we definitely do, because I feel like Vele, we don't really have a structure. Like, I feel like we're just too chaotic then.
You're just winging it.
Like, we're just
Shooting
winging
from
it.
the hip.
Everything, like, it feels like we need it, like, for other people. For me, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's too chaotic, everything around us nowadays.
Yeah, also I do agree with like both of you guys. Like I think people do need it. Like
Yeah.
Well, not for me, but there's people like
That seems to be the trend.
yeah. For
What's
some
up
people
with me?
it's necessary, but maybe for some individuals who
They
can
need it more.
Yeah, who can still stand up. We don't really need it.
Yeah.
Not that they can't stand up, but maybe they might need it more than others.
Yeah.
For me personally, religious or not, there wouldn't be something that would change in my life.
Yeah.
Grew up religious, but along the way,
Chose to go a
I
different
finished.
route.
I finished the
You graduated.
Along the way, you
Church.
found your own way.
You graduated.
yeah, but for some people, or say the majority, definitely we do need it, because we are very dark as human beings. What we are capable of is
It's crazy.
Beyond
beyond
us.
It's
what
crazy, though.
we can
Imagine.
think we
Dude, like,
we can, okay, people can
Sorry to
No, no
interject.
stress.
There's this video Yagamboro where they asked him. I don't know if they asked him or something, and then he's like, "Nah, we feel up, we must slice."
One man, by 10.
you want my turn. My slice.
Dog, like, and
at the end
that's
of the
supposed to
day-
be a pastor.
No,
You know what's
at
so
the end
cool
of
about
the
that?
day-
Ne? He's human.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see the.
It took over,
Yeah,
bro.
he was like,
Yeah.
fuck this religion, bro. I'm
You
going
what?
all out.
My
no.
turn.
Then try to
Have a
fuck.
slice,
Okay,
dog.
what you got to deal with it. Full of dilang.
One man.
Nah.
I don't think God can handle this.
Dog, so Yabona,
It's
man.
gonna take time.
Yeah.
He's backlog.
And there's people who look up to him. Yabona, that's the mess. The
Yeah.
people that look up to. And
Yeah,
he's
but-
busy saying stuff like that.
Now, what happens to someone who now looks up to him, and then we are going with, oh, must this is the person that go to church? Mind you, now what happens? You now
Nami
distance
Slice.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
See, now comes that part
You don't
where
wanna
like
be associated with
worshipping
that.
these
Yeah.
Hey,
celebrities,
Yes.
pastors,
Exactly.
Because you put so much, you're like,
Put them on a pedestal.
Going
Into-
church, you want
Yeah.
to three. Now I'm going church-wise. Casper, the next thing.
He changes. Now
Yeah,
it's like,
talking
hey,
others.
now you feel lost. And I
Exactly.
feel like what you're saying now is that following religion rather than the celebrity's religion is actually quite dangerous,
Yeah.
because the minute the switch up happens or something happens, because we all go through like life, bro, and it's trials and tribulations.
That's true.
You know, so something can change along the way. I might be like full-blown Christian or whatever, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and then tomorrow something happens to me where I lose my faith, I've changed, but I'm a public figure. To you, you're like, oh, but he was mobilizing Christianity, saying this and that, doing seminars, all of this, but now he's not, and he's moving weird, you know.
Yeah.
Now I feel lost as a follower, and then that shows you that you were not really
Following the
faith.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a-
You're not
everyone-
following Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You know, you're following,
following
the
Yeah,
celebrity.
you're following
You're
the
following me,
yeah,
hey.
yeah.
So I think that part is very like important,
Which
because
is
people
also
get
part
lost.
of the scene, right?
Yeah, actually,
Idols.
Which is ironic, by the way.
On
Like,
Idols.
let's look at it from a
Well, yeah. Let's not go there. I think elite is not in our favor. And in parting words. But
But I'm
yeah,
saying-
yeah. Jesus was also an idol.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
he didn't
Yeah,
ask
he was a
people
celebrity.
yeah, to worship him. Like
Yeah.
if you were to kind of read the first three, I think it's the first three. Like on my synoptic, I think there's four.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
three, it's Matthew, Mark, and
Isn't the first
Luke.
Yeah.
Luke, yeah.
Then I don't. Yeah,
John?
then John.
John.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so go on these two or three. Like you hardly hear him say praise me.
Yeah.
His main messages turn to God.
Yeah.
yeah.
Similar to how
yeah.
even Muhammad, peace be unto, I don't that's not what they say, peace be unto him. Excuse me, but I
don't
have
know
to
that
respect
one. I've
other
never
people.
heard that one.
But yeah, peace be unto him. But he as well was preaching something similar to what Jesus was preaching.
Yeah.
Even others who came before Jesus, about Moses, whoever you can think of, all those OGs, all of them.
Imagine reading
OG.
that in the Bible. Like they were OGs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all of them were preaching that, like to turn to basically one with a God. Whoever it might be.
And then maybe Jesus declaring himself as God. People thought, because he was like, I am.
They didn't really say I am. He asked, what am I to you? And then we took
but
it
basically
as
we took it as
I am.
But what he was saying, it's what other people might call the Christ consciousness, which is you don't worship Jesus Christ, but you worship his spirit, which is what energy or spirit possessed him at that time to do those type of actions.
That's perfect.
Or to be that human. So that's what it means when it says follow Jesus Christ. It doesn't mean that that nigga that died in the cross, dog, that's the one I'm kneeling before. Right? But the person that he was, I should resemble that.
That's true.
And that's what
it was in the first place. Now when people have to start worshipping on crosses, on an image of a white guy,
the stuff that killed you, dog.
It doesn't make sense. Right?
The
whole thing, let's not go too deep. People might get offended and whatnot.
I guess those are parting words.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I guess those were parting words.
Yeah, for me, those.
I think you wrapped it up nicely there.
Yeah.
For me, I've said a mouthful, I've said
Are you even religious, dog?
Me?
You're not?
I grew up in a Christian home.
Same
I went to church.
Same here.
Yeah, But
Same
right
here.
now,
you're Gen Z as well.
I'm a Gen Z, dog. I'm a Gen Z. Who knows? I might go through like serious hardship, It makes me go back. Yeah. So at the moment, I wouldn't say I'm following any like religion or anything like that.
Who knows? Maybe you might find your own at some point. We all could find different paths at the end of it. Who knows?
Facts.
10 years from now, you'll be Muslim. I don't know if you'll be religious.
I might tap into
but your one is okubega, man. But in just closing, what I can say is there's something that Christians usually say, which is God is personal.
Yeah.
Right? So God is personal for me then.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to say I'm following this type of religion so that it can be my pathway to meeting. God is personal to me. I've experienced God my own way. And it so happens that it's not the religious way.
Yeah.
So that should be okay, right? Because the main purpose is
fulfillment.
God.
Spiritual fulfillment.
But as you always say,
take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take care of your pockets. This is the Empty Street Podcast, and we signing out. Peace.
Thank you for discussing religion with us. It's the first time we're discussing religion. So I thought, let's get cancelled.
Eggshells.